Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. Today, I have with us a filmmaker, and he has an amazing short film out that I had the pleasure of seeing that was in the Magic of Horror Film Festival, and it's called EVL. I have with us Luigi Scarpa. Luigi, welcome to the Horror Realm.
Thank you very much. Thank you at all. For me, it's a very pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much.
And this is an amazing short film. But tell us a little about, for people who haven't seen it yet, tell them a little bit about EVL.
Okay, ELV for me is a very big and very important film because it's my third horror short film festival. It's a very particular film festival because I wanted for in this film I wanted to tell a story. This film is a reflection on people's fear. We all are afraid of something and feel it in many different way, from phobias to obsessions. And so I wanted to tell a story, to give a clear vision of what fear is to me. And in this direction I do this film where a man regains consciousness somewhere unknown and claustrophobic, and dazed and confused, he begins to wander in its dark corridors. But a series of vision will force him to deal with a far worse reality. So didn't it to give particular images. I like so much dark images, and I don't like so much splatter film with a lot of blood, but I like psychological film. I like the strong power of the single images, and when the people are in the cinema or only in a dark room and see this particular of images at the end of the film, say, oh, okay, um, this film, okay, I like it or I don't like it, but I think what I see in this moment. For me, this is the very big and important things. The people, I want that people, after the watching my film, they think at these images. Even the name of the film EVL is a particular name because it isn't a word of a very a popular name of the film, but only at the end of the film, people that watch this, at the end they can say, oh, okay, now I understand what this film means, and okay, I understand. And for me is important this, because today all of people look a lot of films, and this is important that every film has even a little but particularly thing to do and to watch. And even you watch this, you can say, okay, this film for me is a little particular. For me, when people say this, for me is gold.
Now, what and one thing about this movie, this is a beautifully shot movie. Not only that, it also relies heavily on the score, which is well done. But but for a movie to it's about 11 minutes long. There's very little dialogue. Now, was that your intentions to represent visual, put a lot of emphasis on the visual and the score, and less on the dialogue?
Yes, yes, I like so much this question. Thank you very much, Travis, because this is the focus of the film. Because yes, it's not simple to do a film without words and only with the power of the images. Because and for to do this, you do a film that is very particular to impact. Because dialogue, it's important to understand even the film and help the people to understand what they see in a film. And when you work only with the score, on only with the power of the images, it's important that the images and the sound and the sound design are very typical elements to understand and to communicate to the people. And I worked very much and very hard on these aspects, because for me it's very important. In the past, I did three different short films. The first Malo Materni, and after Sibilon and EVLV, and all these film had little words. Very, very, yes, yes. Only, and EVLV is the more strong about this point, and so I think three or four or five words, in all films of 11 minutes, yes. But this is for me is a very important thing. In these periods in Italy, I am doing a shorter film based on small character of Stephen King with our friends, and in this case, the new shorts is full dialogue. Okay, it's a totally different aspect of my before short film, but it's a very it's totally different about this kind of a film, and it's new speed, new goal, but it's interesting. But I like this show to communicate with the people with only the power of the images and the sound design. For me, even the sound is a very important aspect, because even if is short horror films, all details, all things we do originally, even only sound. I worked with a compositor, okay, and for every take, every place, I did with him a particular work, and I say, oh, okay, Lorenzo, in this point, I wanted this kind of sound. Listen, let me know. Okay, okay. No. It's no okay. I want another sound, because this is very strong. So, okay, Lorenzo, only 11 minutes of films have original sound, because it's a very important place. No library music, no library sound, only original.
One thing you did, I mean, like I said, you did an amazing job. There's no dialogue, and especially with a short film. Because short film, you have such a short period of time to get that beginning, middle, and end, and keep that audience fulfilled at the end, and keep them engaged. So it must be tough to just use visual and sound and no dialogue, especially in a short film. And was is that a challenge for you as a filmmaker?
Yes, for me is yes, it's a challenge, because I know that short film, you have few minutes to explain a concept or a story, okay, and for this reason, the people can use dialogue to explain what they want to communicate in a film. And when you decide to reduce dialogue on the no use dialogue, but only to use the power of the image, yes, is a very challenge, is this kind of concept. And for me, um, very hard in a point of view, but very indicate in this kind of the product in this case. And for me, it was the very big way to use these kinds of elements in a short film.
Now, who are some horror filmmakers that you've gotten inspiration from over the years?
The inspiration of horror film,
Yeah.
yes, and for me, I am Italian, and for this we have in Italy an old story of horror film because and we have the pleasure to have very important people as Dario Argento or Lucio Fulci. I had the pleasure to know people that worked in the past with Argento or Michele Soavi or Lucio Fulci, and they were for me the master. Okay, the master to know and study on I think to um, the way to for the suspense, for the fear, but I like so much, very, very much. Even horror film of American horror film. In this period, for example, I am working on the production of my first feature horror film, and for this, I like film as Autopsy. I like films as um, um, only all films of um, so the creator of the soul and saga or Annabelle saga. I like this kind of the film, psychological films. Um, when the people say and when the people see this kind of the film that I like even splatter film. I respect the director that works on splatter films, works with all bloods. For me, in this period, Terrifier, boom, is a very, very, very important kind of the horror film. But for me, the horror, the fear is psychologically. For me, the way is the psychological film because I say very often that often the horror is the here the real horror in the way of all days. Often reality is more horror than horror, and
Yeah.
for this. I won't work with the mind of the people of the spectator. For example, in my second film, Sibyllum, this is an horror drama, okay? And when people see this short film, this little short film, but they say, "Oh, okay, this event can happen in the way in the old days of the people." And for me, this is very important because every day in this kind in this period in this historical periods, okay, uh, the life is an horror, my friend.
That is
The life is an horror, and I think that the filmmaker, even the indie filmmaker, okay, but we have this very important um, um, competent, very, very important. We do this kind for with our films. We do this kind of work because it's important that people think about this kind of life and even this kind of horror life. Okay, and this is the reality. Very often this is the reality, and when reality is horror, an horror film is more important than reality. You have seen my film, my EVL film. At the end, you know, and this is a very real fear. Okay, when I was a child, that the end of EVL that you seen, oh, it was my first fear of all. Okay, the end of EVL, yes,
and
and
that's most people's
because
fear. Yeah.
yes, exactly, my friends. Yes, and for this, this is very important, and this is the psychological way. is a ancestral fear, or fear that it's based on reality, on elements of reality, not only the monster, not only the ghost, not only the witch, but bring all these elements in the reality. Okay, this is horror for me. And for example, um, sorry, often I bring from one question and I go
No,
over, but
that's
but it's all colligated. Okay, another film that for me is a master is The Others with Nicole Kidman. How did that film, even from years films, but The Others, when you see that film, if you know, you didn't watch anything, but the atmosphere of horror, what you see in the mind in that film, at the end you say, okay, I didn't see blood, I didn't see everything, but the atmosphere, wow, it's very present in my heart. And when a film does this kind of role, for me it's gold.
I agree, and it's something with me. Like I listen, I love the slashers and stuff like that. There's a place in my heart for those. But the ones that really make me feel unease and I find fun are the ones that fuck me up. It messed me up up here. You know what I mean? They it's the it's the score. It's the unknown. It's oh my goodness. That is something that I'm afraid of in real life. Yes, of course I'm afraid about getting killed by a monster, but is there a monster that's really going to kill me? But like, something like drowning or getting burnt alive or something like that, something like that is terrifying.
Yes, 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 yes. Terrified. This is aspect is very important. Yes, because all these elements combine in one formula. Okay, all these elements, because I think this that in general. Okay, horror film is based on different aspect. Okay, very important aspect, because only the power of the image is important, but it's not only things that you do in a horror short film. The score is important, but it's one element, okay? Or dialogue or no dialogue, it's one element. The color correction of the film is one element. And for me, an horror film, and to do and to work with all elements of terrifier elements or fear elements into um, the elements to add in one work all these different little elements: score, color, action, dialogue or not, atmosphere, the power of the images. All these elements do an horror film very strong, that people can uh, even don't like this kind of the film. It's normal, it's okay. I can say, oh, okay, this is a professional work, but I don't like this kind of the film. For me it's no good. Okay, this is important. People choice are different. Okay, but important to do a clear vision to people on what they watch. Okay, um, to do, even I very often I don't like splatter film or other film, but I know that I respect this kind of the film, because I know, okay, director done a good work. Okay, for me, I respect this kind of the film. For me, it isn't my way to tell about in horror films, but I respect this kind of the film, because all elements of that film are important, are based well, okay, in a short story. And I think in a horror short film, it's very difficult in a few minutes to tell a story, and often, as in EVLV, to tell a particular story, no linear story, no narrative story, but visual story. Okay, you are afraid with me. This film is a visual story, and
Yes.
with a lot of elements, and it's important to do to the people, to give them some elements in your vision of that story that even can't say can say, oh, I don't like this, but they have a lot of elements to watch and to think about that. For me, um, this is a goal, okay, because even when people did, I don't like it, okay, no problem, but you have seen a film with some elements that I'd like, that even after the vision you think about this. For me, even this is a goal.
One,
Sorry for my bad
no,
English in a
no,
good moment, okay.
no, you could, but one thing I agree with you is when it comes to horror, horror has so many different. I've said it many times before. Horror has so different many subgenres into horror. So like everybody's not going to like every subgenre of horror, but that's what's great about it because like you have a lot to choose from. So some people like the gory stuff. Some people like the psychological stuff. Some people like the paranormal stuff. Some people like the found footage stuff. So that's why I'm a huge fan of horror because there's a little bit of something for everyone.
Yes, some people, yes, because horror in this period, when you say, for me, this is a very important question. When you say, what is horror now? What's horror now? We have a lot of genres and subgenres, okay? Gore, splatter, psychological, the film as exorcist, the monster, ghost, a lot of genres of film, and in this period I listened even interview to Federico Zampaglione that had do the Well in Italy, that very important film with Lauren Lavera of Terrified, that
Mhm.
in the world, in 84 countries sold this film. And in the interview he said, yes, today we very often talk about horror film, but what is an horror film today? And horror film very often it's became a family film, a film for family, because oh, it's scary in some moments, a film for Halloween party, a film for the even for the young people, okay, oh, I won't watch an horror film, but what is horror film now? For me, horror film, it's a film with blood or no blood, okay, but a film to communicate emotion with the power. um, I show you a very important things. At when I was 8 years old, okay, I watched this film that I show you. I don't know if you. Uh, it's very difficult. So okay,
Oh, okay, okay, yes,
Okay,
Dracula.
Dracula. Okay, so this film, it's a very a love story. You are okay. This is another film about a love story, and for me, well, I in that period, boom, I was 8 years old. I watched this film, and I say, "What? Who is this? What is this?" And for me now is the one of the very well, master of horror film. For me, that film is perfect. When we look this kind of a film today, in that years, in these years, you say, yes, it's little artisanally, okay, because it's an old film, but he has a powerful, a strong and powerful to communicate the emotion, visual emotion, and with all kind of the actors, very, very powerful actually, and this message of that film, even today, when you look with your eyes of today, but you see and say, okay, it's very, very, very nice. It's have a power. Even another film I haven't show you. This film, okay.
The Exorcist.
Okay. Yes, um, this is
It's nice.
you are interested in this the horror film of the all times, I think, because even when you watch today this film, I see people that oh, okay, 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 I don't want to watch this, okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Yes, and when this film in the 70 years, okay, 71, if I don't I think 71, and even today is a film with power, and it's very strong images, and even the directors Fred Klein, I listened in interview in on Sky Television, he explained all the details of this film, all details and all elements that he do in this film. For me is a director lesson, okay, because it's no simple way for this material in that years, even as he used some religious elements. Wow, in that years was very, very, very strong. But when a director have has a vision, has a power of a vision, and go on, go on, go on, at the end, boom, a very particular film of the power film in the all years, okay,
Yes.
even after a lot of years.
It is. It is one of the horror movies that when I ask people what is like the first horror movie that scared the crap out of you, most people name The Exorcist because it. I mean, at its time, it was absolutely terrifying, and it was the psychological plus the visuals in that movie. Holy moly! Wait, Luigi, where can everyone find you on social media? And where can everyone find your films?
In this moment, my films finished the travel of the horror festival in the world, okay, and EVL only, I think, 4 festival, okay, in this period, and I send it a channel, Bloody Disgusting, okay, Tony Walsh's Bloody Disgusting, and I think, I don't know when, but I think in January or February, it will find in his platform, okay, of Bloody Disgusting, and other films, and even EVL. There is a Italian platform that is called Horror Face. That is a very interesting horror platform where are a lot of independent short film, Italian and known short film, and here, even here, it's possible to see that in my horror, no, no horror, in my channel, social channel or internet site, www.luigiscarpa.com, okay, there are a lot of elements about this film, all these films, and all detail on a social media page of the film and of mine, and did go on in the world because I like so much this genre and this world, and my dream to work in America, to go in America and to do another production very strong, because I think that America that I like so much. It's a place, it's a world that believe in horror film. In Italy, in this period, it's no simple way for the horror film, no simple way, because for the production, even Italy laws, it's no good period for the production and for horror film production, because it's a very particular genre in this period. But in America, I know that this kind of films have a lot of power, and for me, one day I want to go Hollywood. I want to go Los Angeles and work in this very beautiful country.
Well, my friend, you keep making movies like this, and one day you will, man. Because listen, amazing movie, man. Listen, everyone,
Thank
please
you.
go ahead and follow my man Luigi and look out for ELV. Listen, Luigi, thank you for coming on, man. Listen, I'd like to thank the Magic of Horror Film Festival as well. They do great stuff out there. I had the pleasure to go to this year's film festival and be a sponsor. Amazing work. All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce, and that's Luigi Scarpa. We'll see you
Thank
next
you.
time. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.